What is homelessness? Public libraries offer shelter to the homeless and a place for them to use computers, possibly to search for jobs.
Homeless people have a reputation of causing a disturbance in public libraries. They're known to be loud, unhygienic, and distracting.
The general public is not a fan of homeless people being allowed in libraries. As much as most people sympathize with the homeless, many do not believe libraries are the place for them to come for relief.
Hey, I'm Cecilia Dalzell. I am the instructional design librarian here at Arnold Bernhard Library. And what that means is I work mostly behind the scenes. I do work on the website, some of the other things like the chat, a little bit with the databases, the research guides, and the video tutorials.
Our topic today is about homeless people in public libraries. So did you ever have a personal encounter with a homeless person while working in a public library?
I used to work in public libraries as my full-time job. I worked in Bridgeport Public Library, the central branch in Connecticut. I also worked in Spokane, Washington, in both the city libraries, which included the main city library, some of the branches, and the county library system, which actually kind of formed a ring around the city system. And it's hard to say if I encountered homeless people because in my position in reference, I wasn't checking people's addresses and giving them library cards. So I'm not really sure. I probably did encounter homeless people, but they had no reason to identify themselves as such to me.
If so, was it a positive or negative experience? So did you ever encounter someone who gave you a hard time? Or any reason?
Difficult patrons happen whether they're homeless or not. Some people just basically bring their bad day into the library, and we have to be patient with them, but yet also make sure that they're not disturbing other people or abusing equipment or staff members or whatever. But most people, including people that I suspect might have been homeless, have been very respectful and polite.
What does it mean to be homeless?
Why do homeless people flock to libraries?
Libraries should be a safe place for everyone to go. Average people shouldn't be turned away because of homeless presence.
Say ABO was a public library, you were sitting in there doing work, and a homeless person comes in and sits down next to you. How would you react?
Well, I probably wouldn't be weirded out or anything. I would ask if he needed anything. If I could tell that he was homeless, I would ask if he wanted me to get food for him or clothes or anything that he needed. And yeah, I probably wouldn't. I would be that rude person to just be he's homeless. I'd probably ask him if he needed help.
If this library was a public library, you were sitting in there doing work, and a homeless person came and sat down next to you, how would you react?
I wouldn't be moved because it's public library, so they can just come in whenever. So it's open to the public, so.
Public libraries offer shelter to the homeless and a place for them to use computers, possibly to search for jobs.
Do you believe public libraries are a good place for homeless people to occupy, or should they not rely on these buildings?
That's a tough question. In general, there's no reason that a person can't come into the library when it first opens and stay there all day until it closes. There's no time restriction on being in the library. it could become, I could see a problem where any group of people that spend an extensive time kind of take up seating, kind of form their own club, and that doesn't matter whether it's homeless adults, whether it's children coming in after school who don't, whose parents are using the library as a babysitting service, or just some chatty group of adults that kind of monopolize a certain area of the library, then that would be something that would have to be dealt with as a unique thing. But if someone just comes in for a warm place to be and they're not bothering anybody, they're just sitting there reading a book or taking their hour on the computer or whatever they do, that's not a problem.
Many homeless people can be found in big cities, where places like libraries tend to attract people without homes. Libraries are warm, free, have bathrooms, and places to sleep.
What do you think the future holds for libraries dealing with this issue?
I think as long as there is homelessness in this country, or as long as people are kind of out and about during the day and don't have any place to be, even if they have a home but it's not someplace they choose to hang out with in all day for whatever reason, I think you're going to have people hanging out at the library. And as far as homelessness, I think part of the future is, I know a lot of libraries have tried to link homeless people with other services that can help with just their their daily needs of maybe lockers, laundromat passes, connect them with food programs, soup kitchens, shelters, programs to help them find a home, mental health, whatever it is the particular people need. Because that kind of referral service actually happens a lot in public libraries anyway for a lot of other things. As people come in and ask questions, it could be anything from a young person coming in and saying, my friend is pregnant, she needs information about Planned Parenthood, to seniors trying to understand if something's a scam or not. There's a lot of referrals that public librarians end up doing, outside of our own field.
What does the future look like for public libraries when it comes to homeless presence?
Many public libraries are looking into partnering with service providers that can help homeless people get back on their feet.
They need a larger social and political network of support.